everybody, and welcome back to Roll for Damage, where I take this lovely group of nerds through my homebrew World of Tyrell in a Rise of Tiamat campaign. And it actually is the Rise of Tiamat campaign almost at the moment. They're on the last little side bit. They're in the area it's meant to be happening. So I'm pretty happy with that, since we've been not really off track, but not on track either. Track adjacent for quite a while. Before we get too much into tonight's episode, we're going to get everyone to say hello and tell us where they're from. So let's start with Teg.
Hi, I'm Sugaril. I'll be playing Tig today. You're really not very smart barbarian, but I've got a lot of heart, so it's okay. Was that it?
That'll do.
I'm still really sick, so very foggy brain, so I'm just Tig today.
Okay. My camera, I'm realizing, is off center, so it just looks like I'm like staring off the side of my screen the entire time. But unfortunately, until my room's fixed up, this is how it has to be. Next up, we'll go with Auric.
Hello, my name is Sean, and I am also at times Auric Solaris, a soulless but sometimes feely wizard of the timey-wimey variety who was not there last week to stop them from stop the world from ending. So it should be exciting to deal with consequences this week. And I am also the creative director of Paradise Productions, with Shannon, where we play D&D and other TTRPGs and do all sorts of nerdy stuff over there. We have our own D&D show, weekly D&D show on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where they also are kind of breaking a lot of things in the world over there. And they were gonna have a big old boss fight next week. That's probably gonna be a 2-sessioner, most likely. And we also do other stuff. I do crafting on Wednesdays. This coming up week is the official return of Relaxing in Paradise on its weekly schedule now that grad school is over. I'm gonna be crafting. Well, no, we'll figure out what I'm going to be doing, because I have to do some of that crafting before Wednesday, since the fight is on Monday. And we also have a Jasper's Game Day in Paradise charity event coming up in August, the weekend of the 12th. We're very excited. We have a lot of really awesome GMs lined up and games lined up to raise money for suicide prevention, so check us out over there. And yeah, this has been the most tame introduction I've done this season.
I feel like you're very sleepy after your week.
I am very sleepy after my week.
Okay.
Bye!
Alright. Next along, we'll go with Nia.
Hi, I'm Shelby, or Whistle, and I'm going to be playing Nia, our problem child who tried to take charge for the two not very smart barbarians and did not think to specifically tell Tig to not be a tree. Didn't cross her brain. Sorry about that, guys.
Is that it?
Yeah.
You're not shooby-dooby-doo, whistle while you work, and you draw whatever fun fantasy stuff comes to mind, but you don't really do it too much on your YouTube channel anymore because you haven't done that in a while. But you've got your Twitch channel, and you can find it anywhere you want to look, under either
posted a video
shooby-dooby-doo or is it
Shadoodles,
shibby-dooby-doo, whistle while you work.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's such
She's currently going through a brand change, but she's not sure if it's ever going to be done.
But that's okay.
Forever
We're here
brand
for her
change.
beautiful smile.
I would like to point out that I'm also in the sick club, so Kyle is bullying me for no reason today.
We're helping.
That's true. Turn on him in the chat.
Oh.
I mean, it'd only be bullying if I had to remind
helping.
Shannon before she even gets a chance that she is the...
Don't you dare.
You fucking do it. I play our other
Say it real quick,
barbarian.
Shannon.
I'm the community manager for Paradise Productions, and Sean, you didn't leave me anything to talk about. You did such a wonderful job explaining what we do over in Paradise.
He's gone for a
one
week,
thing.
and now he's just...
I know, right? Now you're taking my job? Are you taking my job? Is that what you're trying to tell me right now? You're gonna do everything? Damn it!
No, I would never do that. That sounds awful.
The one thing that Sean did not mention is that we also have a talk show / session recap show on Sunday nights where the two of us do our usual bullshitting shenanigans and recap the previous week's episode. That's been a little wonky schedule-wise as well because both of us are finishing up grad school, but we're like the big stuff is done. Like we're like this close from like actually being done. So fucking close. But we will be live this Sunday to recap last week's episode of Advantage in Paradise, where I play Scarlet, our broody rogue with a temper. But tonight I will be playing Sloane, who has been liberated for a temporary while from the war god that lives within her sword and therefore within her soul. So we'll see what the fuck happens with that.
And that show is the most powerful hour on the internet, also known as the Sean and Shannon Power Hour. He did not say the name of the show.
You know what, Sean? I'm a little bitter. You
Sundays.
What?
I said Saturday.
You're fired.
You can't fire me.
Yes, I can. You're quitting.
All right, well, you're DMing Monday then.
No.
So, what level are you guys now, Wayward 5-ish?
Oh, they just leveled up.
Oh, we just leveled up. We're 16 now. Are we 16?
So now you can
caught up to the scales above.
You can now fight these guys on a level playing field, which is all I wanted. I want to see...
with the number of items I've outfitted them with, the Wayward 5 would wipe the floor with us.
I feel like
many
if this
items.
party actually like used all its abilities and not just I'ma hit something, yep, hit it good, they'd probably be okay. A lot of their magic items are really powerful. You're fine because all you do is go have a black hole, and that wins most fights anyways.
It's because if I do anything else, the world breaks. But the world's breaking anyway, so now I think I'm just gonna lose it and start casting everything under the sun.
No, it's because a black hole is to whom it may concern, not an arrow that says to you specifically. Hi.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a really good way to put it.
I feel like that. Did you take that from the fireball thing from Joe Cat's wizard video?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Credit where credit's due. It's good.
It is. Yes.
Nova, who are you?
I'm Nova. You just said it.
Who the fuck are you?
That's it. There's nothing else.
Hell yeah.
I have lost all personality as a not internet person. That's it. I run roll for damage. I am working too much at the moment in the real life job and very sleepy all the time. Trying to play games and plan sessions, and it's just not happening perfectly. However, this session we're gonna get a bit of a recap, and I know who I'm gonna ask to recap because it was a lot about them. A big thing about them happened. So, Shannon,
What?
you're recapping.
Fine.
She was prepping for this sass.
No.
Well, no, it was a big thing about her, so she had to. I don't know where that came from.
Literally, the line that I wrote, the last line of my notes is dot dot dot. We put a god on the mortal plane dot 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 that breaks reality dot dot dot.
Okay.
I think that's really all you need to know.
I mean, you could
I have more.
tell us how we
Worry.
got there.
I have more. All right, so last session we were moving through the forest towards the war camp to go kind of check it out, see what's up. Nia was scoping out in the trees. She slipped and fell, but Sloane caught her. And then while she was up there, Nia saw that the towns surrounding where they are had been set on fire about a week prior. That rhymes. We do not see any rat people, and the war camp is a field full of tents. Let's see. Then the next one I have, I'm pretty sure I'm missing things, so feel free to fill in the gaps. But Auric casts locate objects on the rat maps and determines that there are 5 groups of them converging on our location. Nia goes back up into the trees. Sloane hides behind a tree. Tig becomes a tree, or attempts to become a tree. And Auric and Tamel just fuck off and keep walking because they're not dealing with this shit. The rat people...
Smart boys.
The smart boys. The rat people surround Tig, and Tig does, to Tig's credit, Tig does a really good job being a tree. A very, very good job being a tree. But when...
She is halfway there.
Right? Exactly. So when they figure out that Tig is not a tree, Nia throws a crystal in the opposite direction as a distraction. And then I have more corrupted figures emerge and start towards Tig. Not Twig, Tig. Goliath picks up Tig. Oh, that was the trigger. Another human says, "We'll take it." And then that's when the battle broads engage. And we have a big fight. And our dungeon master here used a spell called Divine... What's it called? Divine
Word.
Thank you. Divine Word. And that separated Ursamir, also known as War Daddy, from my sword. And since he is native to the material plane, he's just walking around right now, free of the sword, just doing his own thing. So we're going to deal with the consequences of that, because that's where we left off last session.
Yep.
Hot done.
I've had Bon Jovi in my head ever since Sean said halfway there. So thank you, Sean. Do you want to go get water before I tell you to... Yeah, go on then. Go get water.
Go on, get some water.
Get your water. Okay. While she's gone, we can all say mean things about her. She'll never know.
Shannon's the best.
She is the best.
Shannon is the reason why Finn comes onto the stream.
True. And then there's a black cat.
There's a void!
This is why...
This is why
Shelby has bad luck. That thing's just been walking under her chair.
Tonight.
Black cats
I
are
almost
good
had
luck.
another animal. My apartment's too dirty.
ILS, the resident witch here, who's been practicing Wiccan for like 11 years.
Let me have my common
This is
misconception,
my familiar.
right? Shh.
No.
All
What is
right.
the familiar's name? What is the void's
Pig.
name?
His name is
What is it?
Pig.
Pig.
Oh, Pig. I thought you said Tig for a second, and I was like,
Yeah, and I was
really?
like, wait, what?
No, his name is Pig. You guys will be
That
seeing
is
another voice
a fantastic
soon. I have a
name.
kitten at home now, and his name is Boxes.
Pig in boxes? I love that.
It's like pigs and
Welcome
Anna
back,
looks
Shannon.
like she ate a pig.
That's
Don't eat
rude.
watermelon seeds, everybody.
Oh god, no.
By pig, I meant your cat, not an actual pig. Jesus Christ.
That's somehow worse.
No, maybe, I don't know. Look, I'm not here for being
My
tactful.
familiar is here in a giant poofy couch and is probably not going to move for the rest of the day. Get ready
Okay,
for D&D.
we're keeping Shannon awake, so let's get started.
I did nap today,
Uh-huh.
but not as long as I would have
Same.
liked.
So, you guys decided, we had a bit of chat before session, that you would be a bit mentally shaken by what happened. You went for a bit of a walk, a couple hours to get away from this side of the massive... What are you eating? Bushies. Have you finished all the chocolate I sent you?
Maybe.
That was like
Shannon,
3
how many things did you
kilos
eat today?
of chocolate and
Why
biscuits.
are you asking her this on a live stream,
She
Kyle? Do you
only
not
ate
know how to talk to
she
ladies?
only ate 1.5.
I ate a whole jar today, and
Excellent.
I ate a whole jar yesterday. And
You ate
and
half.
Pickles are great.
You ate half. The bean ate the other half.
That's true. Bean ate the other half.
That's a good
Hey.
way to put it.
So we're sending
Hey.
more chocolate,
I'm
guys.
eating for
Don't worry.
2. Yeah.
It's alright. We'll send more chocolate once we get paid next week.
It's an emergency. Send more chocolate.
Blink twice if you need more chocolate. I think I only saw one.
I was
There
expecting
was two.
like just consistent blinking.
Morse code.
D&D. We're here for
D&D, that's right. We're here for a game. Sorry, everyone watching.
It's
Till we
just a
fall
good
asleep.
bunch of friends.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
just waiting for this to be over.
anyways, you guys decided to get away from the side of the massacre and then take a night to rest. Like Sloane needs a night without Ursula in her head yelling. And everyone else was a bit, I guess,
Mel needs
mentally
sleep.
exhausted after what happened yesterday, even if they weren't physically too bad. Auric probably didn't need that, but he would have spent time studying. And you also found one full map that made up another piece of the 3. And then you found one that had unfortunately been half vaporized by a god's sword strike. So you have most of the map of the current area. What you see is off the north of the forest, where the third piece was originally missing. It shows the open fields where you now know the war camp to be after go brain Nia after Nia's little reconnaissance, and past that, between the mountains and that, further north is a town called Xonthal's Tower. It has a little crude drawing of a tower surrounded by what looks to be a maze, and then around that maze is a town.
And then
So-
past that is the mountains.
Well, no. So right now you've got the shore at the bottom, the coast where you landed. Then you got a little town, which was the port you landed at. Then there's a forest. The mountains go all the way up the side. There's a few dotted around, which you can see there's like paths that come through to go south. And then you've got the town further up and the camp sort of off to the thing. So you've got northeast, a proper mountain range, like the friggin' Himalayas mountain range. You've got Xonthal's Tower straight north, you got the camp northwest, and then there's like a few low hills, cliffs, mountains, rocky outcroppings that make natural laneways and paths to get from north to south in this area. South to north.
Cool.
On the map you can see that there's dotted lines that you can see the scouts and the army is intending to take as it moves down through. My headset started beeping, it's going dead right now. Great. That's going to go south through this area, through the forest, to get to the ocean. It would cost them, because armies move slowly, it would cost them at least a week if they had to change the way they were going. But if they change the way they're going, there's a chance you can't get back south because you will be cut off by an army if you go to Xonthal's Tower and then try to leave again. So, yeah. You do know that there's something that's called Spider Passage Safe on the mountain range, the Himalayas style mountains. Do you, Sean, and I guess Auric as well, know what that is? Do you mentally know what that is? Spider Passage?
The spider passage?
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's a spider passage. It's a passage that is covered in spiders.
Not quite.
Or the well, I know there was mention of the Spider Queen or whatever last time I was here. So imagine it's her domain, and they have an agreement with her to move through safely.
Correct.
When it says Spider Queen, that do they reference that as like the leader of the spider people there, or like a deity kind of figure?
Just make a history check, I guess.
Sure.
History seems like the one that would make most sense. or flat intelligence, but history.
History.
You have proficiency in history?
I do. It's 15.
Okay.
I rolled a 5.
Give me just a sec to do my headset battery. Or
Sure.
a 5, Jesus. That's not good. That's not
Only
good at all.
intelligence
He's got plus
skill that
10.
I'm not proficient in is nature.
I can no longer hear you. I can
That
only imagine all
tracks
the
with
crap
how
they're
much
talking.
you like constantly torture Gladstone for you not to have an understanding of the sheer like stress you're putting on that animal just for the
It does track.
experiment. That tracks. That works. Or it
I
doesn't
haven't
exactly.
experimented on him in a very long time.
Yes, yes. I'm not going to forget that one of our first exposures to Gladstone was him eating the goo, though.
Okay. So, 15. Because you got plus 10, that's still enough to kind of get a basic idea of what's going on. You had a map a while ago of Etredale, getting you an idea of where you were going and what's over there. The Spider Passage, or Spider Queen Passage, lines up with where you came on the other side, making it where you and Storig kicked a
It's all
down a hole
now.
And you even remember her being like, had a deal with Sam to let people through. He would pay me in food. Are you the food? So, the way...
Excellent.
I'll let you figure it out. I'm not going to tell you everything. You can figure out from there what that means. Yeah, so you kind of have a choice of where you want to go now. You've got... There's more than 2 paths north, but certain ones will let you see certain things and do certain things. So, proceed.
So when you say there's different paths, you mean the like lined paths on the map?
Yeah, so there's a relatively narrow valley the army tends to take, which is the furthest point west. You'll have to travel, and that one will take you. Given the shoddy looking range increments they've got on there, you think it'll take you maybe 2 days to get there, and then another 2 days from there to get to Xonthal's Tower. Whereas if you have to go through one of the other things, you're adding 2 days either side to get the next one northeastish, and then there's one right up against the big mountain range, which will add like a week either side. So you'll be going it's almost a 3-week journey at that point to get through Xonthal's Tower.
Which one is that one? Close to the mountains?
Yeah, very close to the mountains. And you also...
How far away are the mountains, roughly? Like, they're far away.
Yeah. So, like, if you went to go straight east and hit the mountain range, probably got almost 2 weeks to get to them.
Okay. Cool. So that would mean the Spider Pass... The Spider Pass, was that by the mountains, or is that part of the forest at the roots of the mountain?
That's actually...
through the mountain.
It's through the mountain, and it's it's to the north of the Xonthal's Tower, actually. It's like quite far north along...
The Spider Pass?
Yeah. But that does mean that you're not sure if hostiles are still using it to travel back and forth from Etredale, so the whole mountain range is considered hostile. Because you did roll a okay history check, I'll say that you know that the major houses rotate through having warbands along the mountain range at all times to keep back potential scouts and enemies coming over the mountains, and they're considered to almost be constantly in fights. They're always on guard because there's always something coming through. The reason they have to rotate so much is because of casualties and stress.
Okay.
This is way too happy for what we're talking about. This might cover my screen, and I apologise. It did. Don't look at the tabs.
So we have the Western Path, which would be roughly 4 days to Xonthal's Tower. the tight northeastern mountain pass, which would be several weeks, and then was there just like a directly through the forest kind of path that would be arduous but direct?
Yeah, through the forest, and then you kind of go through some low hills to get.
But that would take us like almost directly to the camp, right? That one.
Sorry.
Well, I guess we don't. The camp is marked on the map, or do I just know the area that it is?
It's kind of just got a circle with an X in it, and because you know where it is due to the plumes of smoke, you kind of like figure out, yeah, that's the camp. So yeah, cool. you got three, right? Left, middle, right. Right being the one by the mountains. Right, few weeks. Left, 4 days. Middle is kind of in the middle of those two.
Yeah. Like a week.
A week and a bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so cool. So I'm looking at a very dangerous, and the shortest path, the risk there is we may just run into parts of the army because they use that pass frequently.
Yeah, but you do also get eyes on the army, so you get to sort of like see what it's about.
Mm-hmm. Through the middle, we go through the forest, we run the risk of whatever's in the forest and not having eyes in the army when we're in the forest. And then the mountain pass, while it might be further away from the war camp, it's gonna take longer, and it brings us close to the war bands in the mountains.
Yeah, both of the Etredalian side, which you're not necessarily friends with, and the
Yakelheim.
I'm gonna say Jotunheim. But yeah, demon warbands. And reports of what was going from Yakelheim across are occasionally pure blood demons.
Interesting. Cool. Alright.
And I imagine as you're walking, you're actually saying this to the party in some way, shape, or form? Or you just keep this to yourself?
I would imagine if anyone's listening, I'm not saying it to them, but I am saying it out loud to myself. All the things like I literally just said, or sitting there pondering, like, rats to the west, rats in the middle, demons to the east.
We know eat demon. No demons to eat. No.
Because
we don't eat demons, no.
Because this is what Auric was doing as you guys were walking and falling asleep. I imagine he stayed up to Mel and him like on guard while the battle broads sleep. And she's just gone, no, eat demons. No. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, we don't. She's like, no, demons bad.
No.
And he's gone back to sleep.
Back to sleep.
Yeah. She's like lounging in a shape where there's going to be sun in the morning, like a cat, just like, I'm ready for my belly to be bathed in sunlight.
Amazing. I love that.
And fiendish god on our trail. Tamel. What say you? Western Pass, eyes on the army, risk confrontation. Shortest path. Middle, no eyes, blind. Possibly safest though. Eastern Pass seems not like the right option to me. Dangerous and long. Though, I would be lying if I wasn't curious about the warbands there and how far the Spider Pass's influence extends south.
There's a chance if we go Eastern Perth we can get allies as well.
From Etredale?
Maybe.
That's true, but
depends who's in power.
That is a very significant if. There's only really one house we are on good terms with, and they are somewhat depleted, as you know.
Look, either way, there's a chance we run into scouts. And the west and the middle path, we could find ourselves surrounded. Maybe going west is good because we can get ahead. They won't be able to set up in time. We get ours and we can make a decision if we want to just shoot for that tower of yours or try to do something about this force heading south. Because if they get south in time, we can't get back on the boat. The Dancer won't be safe to make port if there's that many ships. I mean, there has to be a lot of ships, right? That's an army heading out of here. And we don't know where they're going.
No, but we're on the northern side of Jotunheim, right?
Southern side.
Oh, we are on the southern, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Sorry, I was mixing up the capital with Montcooler. Okay. So the northern coast is significantly far away.
Correct.
We're close to the mountains, so the western coast is also far away. Where could they be heading? Everything they want is here.
Is it? Ever since they came down from the north, they just wanted to spread their influence. I think they could go anywhere.
And if they're connected to the cult, there's so many variables. The rat people of Kenora are here as well. That dragon is somewhere here.
That's a problem. How many dragons do we know are free?
I don't know where my notes are, but I believe there are white is free, and last I heard here, green is in hell.
I was told the red's there as well.
That's the one that I was thinking of. But the white one, I know on good authority, is guarding or interacting or protecting something significant. And he looks over at Nia for a moment. Which I can't imagine is not what they're after. In some sense. The body of Bahamut.
I'm sorry, I'm not too well versed in dragon. Maybe Yako would know more of it.
We need to burn a teleportation circle into that ship. Just talking out loud. Thank you for your wisdom.
No worries, I'm here if you need me. I do worry that Do you think there's a Do we need to stop, like, kill Tiamat, stop the ritual that joins them, or do we need to kill just one head, and that'll weaken her enough? She was a god when she was 5, right? What happens if you take away a fifth of a god? Is she just a weaker god, or is she not one anymore?
Well, that depends on your cosmological belief system. You could argue that what makes a god is a certain accumulation of power. And I'd say a 4-headed Tiamat is still a god, but a weaker god. You are correct there. More vulnerable. And some working theories based on some of our accumulated knowledge. Although the Tyrant Queen would bestow chaos and destruction on this world, I believe the cult is also trying to protect themselves from the greater darkness, the Horsemen. And I would be lying if I did not say I lay awake some nights, curious. As do if some defenses are worth the destruction.
So they want to send Tiamat against whatever else is
The
coming.
Horsemen.
Can she do it?
I don't know.
And
The Horsemen are coming regardless, and if she can't do it, well, then they kill Tiamat for us.
would the reign of dragons be better than the destruction of all life?
If there is an enemy you can resist, stop, it seems like a stronger bid for life than total annihilation and oblivion.
And do we know if the horsemen just... do they just... and it's over, or is it a thing that takes time that we haven't... maybe we can stop?
It is a staggering. One by one they breach this world. War has breached this world. Pestilence? Is it pestilence? War, pestilence, death, and famine. And war and pestilence are here, right? And it's death and
Pestilence?
famine that are not.
I think it was told to you through someone else that Pestilence is free of his bonds, but you don't know where he is.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I've seen one, or the herald of one at least. War. Summoned forth by the dissolution of alliances and warmongering. Pestilence is not bound anymore, but we are uncertain of their activity.
Wait.
Death is held at bay for now, and I have a deal with death.
What was war brought by the dissolution of alliances, or did they cause the dissolution of...
Well, if we're thinking of this like chickens and eggs, then
well,
war.
Yeah, okay.
But you are not wrong in that the dissolution of alliances was after the arrival of war. War's arrival came with Saren's uprising.
this is a lot. Maybe we should rope the others in the morning, see what they have to say.
Last thing to close out this conversation. I believe death is to be the last. I believe. But what is truly the annihilator of everything? What consumes it all? Is this. He'll tap on the eye on his spellbook. Famine. The hungry void.
Let's see. I don't see a way to stop it, I guess. Is there something we can do about it, or?
Saren believed it was in unity of all people that could stop it. The cult believes, from my understanding, Tiamat can stop it. The Five sow chaos, and in that chaos, I think, hasten their arrival.
So the Five are an unwitting catalyst.
I believe, I'm not certain if there is a willingness, perhaps. Sam is an enigma, perplexing annoyance. A man with that much chaos. I've been thinking about this a long time, Tamel, and I only speak these things to you because I trust you. You are a man of principle.
Okay.
But you're right, we should wait until the morning to gather all of our knowledge to decide what is right.
We need more information.
Yes. I believe I may have a way to seek that information out.
I'll raise something in the morning with everyone else as well, but it's not a good idea, but it's information.
I feel the discontent and fear in them. And he looks to Sloan and Nia and Tig.
I don't think Tig understands discontent, let alone feels it. She's just she weird, man.
If you lack the knowledge of the words to express, does not mean you do not feel.
Oh, I understand that, but she's not normal.
No, that is for certain. But then again, what is amongst this group? get some rest and finish the watch tonight.
You're gonna finish the watch by yourself?
Yes.
Wake me up 4 hours before dawn. Somewhere.
I will.
He reaches out to shake your hand.
Oric's kind of confused at first as he looks up from a deep thought and then offers his hand. Nods.
Figure it out. See you in the morning.
Good night.
And he will go put his head down. He walks over to Nia and makes sure she's rugged up. Then will like lean against the tree, maybe 5 feet away, 10 feet away, and just press his head back against it.
Before
Of course, before
Oric's watch passes, he is not going to do anything, but he is going to start doing many things and stop before he can finish them.
Mm-hmm.
Rituals, spells. He starts many spells and doesn't complete the components.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the discontent bleeding off of the others keeps him from doing it, but the first thing he does is he starts to prepare the ritual for scrying.
Mm-hmm.
Several times. He carves sigils into the sand. He brings out his focus, the eye occasionally, but then stops short of completing it. He does that at least 3 times. A little bit, maybe a little bit of hesitancy coming from the fact he released a demonic army into his mansion the last time he failed this ritual. And then he just kind of wipes the sigils out of the dirt. And the last thing he does before the 4 hours is up is he starts a new spell that he's not done before. As he starts to, again, make the sigils in the sand, and little strands of string, of web, come off of his hands to his other hand. And they start to almost connect before he stops the spell.
Mm-hmm.
As he begins casting Contact Other Plane and then stops.
Okay. I'm going to give you a choice. The next time you go to cast either one of those spells, you can either roll with advantage or get +5 to the check.
That's a real hard choice.
I know.
At first I was like, advantage, clearly. And then I was like, wait, no.
+5? That's not +1 or 2.
That's nothing
That's
to bat my eye at.
Yeah.
Can
the
you
problem
make the
is-
choice when he goes to make the roll?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. I'm strongly leaning towards the +5, because that gives me a baseline of 20 for an Arcana check.
So you can roll a 21.
Yeah,
That's the lowest you can roll is a 21.
Yeah, it's like the Eloquence Bard, where they can't roll lower than a 9, I think, on
10.
their... Is it 10? Yeah.
A 9 or lower is always counted as a 10.
But Oric would spend a few last moments before waking up to Mel, kind of composing himself. He would just kind of look up at he almost starts to look up at the stars and stops himself. His eyes drift northward many times, skyward many times, as he feels a dissolution of himself a little bit as these other people's feelings are bleeding into him, before he firmly takes a deep breath.
You feel the emotions from the sleeping people around you. Unfettered, childlike joy. Fear. deep sadness and guilt and concern.
I
For
don't
another.
want your feelings. Don't want your happiness or sadness. Takes one last glance out at the horizon, his eyes drifting as close as they can possibly get skyward before he wakes to Mel.
When you get, and you kind of like get right towards the horizon, you kind of like just see a bit of the sky. Like the whole sky is like a heartbeat, and like drops for a moment, and like you avert your gaze and wake up. He wakes up, nods sleepily, rubs his eyes, stokes the campfire a little bit. Down, you go to sleep. Dawn breaks 4 hours later. The light filtering through the trees. You are sitting in an area, the trees are about 40 feet apart. They would take at least 2 of you to wrap your arms around these giant, almost like redwoods. There's like tufts of low-lying bush, but for the most part it's this just like very rich, dark earth around you. The occasional rocks and things you see. As you'll start stirring, this badge that was like lumbering across the floor, so like looks at you and then skedaddles off into the underbrush. Yeah, I'll say that Nia is the first one awake.
I specifically wanted to ask if she could wake up just before the crack of dawn.
Yeah,
Nia was stunned for a full hour. Yesterday, she was probably not feeling that great after that.
Yeah, you wake up and like within a minute, the sun starts to crest the horizon.
Nia, after kind of rubbing the sleep out of her eyes, she's going to go into her bag and take out the cup, her water, her canteen, and find a patch of land that the sunlight hasn't quite hit yet. It will when the sun starts rising a little bit more, but she wants to set this up before the sunlight physically hits the cup, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And it's not a prayer out loud. It's just a silent trying to give an offering to the sun.
And what do you offer? Just some water?
Water and... trying to think, because I don't have anything that really represents Saranark other than the water. Let me check my inventory real quick. I could use the holy water. I have a flask of holy water for some reason. I'll use that. Sure.
Okay.
Pour like a little out of the flask into the water cup.
Okay. As the diffused light hits the cup of holy water, it sort of shines really brightly, reflected light. It's like golden disc inside the cup. Can I just get a roll a religion check?
Sure thing. Do I still have a hero point by chance?
Did you burn it last session?
Nope, I don't think I've burnt it this season, and I think I earned it back. Could I spend it just to pass the check? I'll do that. I'm not risking my flat dice roll.
So your offering appears well received, because when you turn your eyes away for a second from that bright flash of reflected light, as you pick up the cup, there's no...
Nia will kind of smile to herself a little bit, and I think spend the rest of that time waiting for the others to wake up, just in that little sunlight patch.
The rest of you wake up. Birds are chirping. Sun is up. It's a coolish day, but no clouds.
Tig wakes up and sneezes.
Do.
It's winter in Fei place now, so Tig has cold.
I imagine when Sloane wakes up, she's like kind of unsure how to feel because she feels very different than she has for like the past several months. So she kind of gets up and just, well, maybe she wakes up and just kind of stares at the sky for a little bit, lying down, and then we'll just kind of get up and go through the motions of like putting things away and decamping and all that.
Orc is watching her every single second that she wakes up, ever since she wakes up.
Yeah, Tig's
Taking
gonna do
notes.
the same. Just sit there and stand next to a tree, arms crossed, just waiting. Just keeping her eyes on Sloane.
You had no nightmares last night, Sloane? You had no dreams of being inside the place within the sword?
So I slept good, is what you're saying.
You actually slept pretty good. It's a mix of, like, you wake up and you feel the guilt for all the things that you've kind of done, but you were just too tired last night. And usually your soul, I guess, doesn't care because it's trapped in that place, but last night it wasn't, so you just got asleep.
Amazing. Yeah, so I guess I'll go about doing stuff for a little bit, and then I'll see the two of them staring and just be like, what? Is there something on my face?
Room for more bruises.
There's always room for more bruises.
Tig can help with that.
Maybe not now. Why are you mad at me?
What did you promise?
I honestly don't remember what I promised. Was it like I promised to get just reaffirming my dedication, and he wouldn't kill my friends? Is that what it was? I'm asking you, Nova. I don't remember.
I'm seeing where Shro's going with this, so I'm just gonna stay nice and quiet.
Well, you've told Tig you don't remember? Or are you...
Shannon doesn't remember.
Okay.
So I don't know how to answer your question in character because I don't remember.
It might just come to you later, but answering it right now to Tig. It's early. You probably don't remember, right?
Probably not. Okay, we'll just go with that.
Yeah, go with that.
I don't know. Did I say something?
Yeah.
What did I say?
Big angry man in your sword. Comes out of sword. Tried to kill you. Said you need to promise. Remember what you promised. Or he will find someone new. When he come out, Tig saw him. That's not Tig's uncle. That's so much worse. What did you promise? That's no small problem. Tig can't fix that. Tig can fix Baphomet problem. Tig can fix other problem. Tig can fight Green Dragon problem. Tig can't fix that problem. Tig saw White Dragon problem. Tig saw Blue Man. Tig saw Green Man. Tig can't fix that problem. What did you promise?
I'm not asking you to fix that problem. That is my problem that I have to fix.
You can't fix. Not by yourself.
Try.
That's what we're here for. That's why Tig came back. Tig slept for so long. and come back for work and find nice people to help. And you need more help than Felix needed. What did you promise?
I promised I would do what he asked me to do. In
Do you
exchange
know who that
for...
is?
I do.
Who is that?
He is a god of war.
Mm-hmm.
And savagery and blood.
No.
And he...
No. No, he didn't used to be. He used to be nice. What did you do?
You know, Tig, I've done a lot of things in my life, and a lot of them I'm not proud of. And the choices I made were to protect my friends. And that is something that I need to deal with.
Here for this conversation.
I'm gonna go up and
Yep,
just
you're
like
there.
a hug.
I'll return it.
Like a nice, warm, gentle, loving
Bear
hug.
hug.
A bear hug.
A bear hug.
A bear hug, like a barbarian hug.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll hug
Tig
too.
probably starts crying a little bit, to be honest. Like, I'm not sure if Auric is getting the emotions off of this, but he'd probably get like a deep sense of like appreciation, but also sadness. Sloane, I see you. I see just you.
Yeah, I'm standing here.
No,
of course
no,
you see
no,
me.
no. And she's going to press her forehead against yours and be like, Tig sees you. You do what Tig does. You're big and strong. Just stronger. And points into her brain. There's like in her head, like, you stronger. But Tig stronger.
Fair enough.
But Sloane, you may deal with really bad.
I know.
Bad.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm not proud of it.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be like that.
What is he supposed to be like?
Happy, I think.
I don't think I've ever seen him happy.
When did you find him, and where and how? Because Tig don't know how he became like that. Tig last saw him as like, and bat. And now he's like that, and that's bad.
Yeah, I found him in the sword.
Where was Sword?
Are you there? Are you there, Nia? I look at Nia and kind of just say, the sword was in her home. She was protecting with her family. I don't
Nia.
know how it got there.
Mia. I'm just gonna go to Mia.
I want to say
Tig's
now.
just making the rounds.
Can I say
Tig's
that
having an
Nia
existential crisis.
Hold on. I need to say, because Nia has seen how erratic Tig is. As soon as Sloane looked at Nia in that conversation, this girl was scrambling to get up a tree as fast as she could.
Hang on.
Like-
Mia. No, it's fine. Your family had sword. Did your family have other weapon in house?
Well,
Like stick with curved blade on it. Like slice,
like-
scythe.
like the Kopesh.
Like this?
Is that what
This is
Nova?
mine.
Yeah, the Kopesh.
Do you
is
mean
like it's
the
like a
scythe?
The scythe, yeah.
No, they don't.
Is it reminiscent of that?
Not really.
Okay.
No, we were kind of the other weapon, but we weren't sticks with curved blades, no.
How many people in your family?
Presently or before?
Before.
It was me. I had two older brothers. My father, my uncle, my mom. But I don't know much about her.
Did two men come in at night at one point and hurt people during war?
I'm gonna guess no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. Sloane's village raided mine, and that's how she got the sword. We were just holding it.
You're such bad people!
I've done nothing wrong.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, shut up!
Yes, you have. Eric, shut up.
Okay. Why do you have sword?
Remind me, Kyle, the sword was just found by the Aryans, right?
Yeah, so it was found, so there was a bit of a time about 200-ish years ago where you had a bit of a united clan biff against some people. Bad sort of corrupted tribes were trying to take over, and some other dragonborn half dragons, some Goliaths, a lot of the high tribes, like, you know, up in the highlands, united and fought against them. There was a whole big mound of bodies, and at the bottom of that was this sword, and the first person to touch it was just like, there's something wrong with this. And they pretty much locked it away.
And my family was just relegated to be the ones who would guard it forever.
Yeah, because you had the strongest connection to a dragon. So it was like, okay, you will be able to protect us from this.
Nia, as she's climbing down from the tree, seeing us now hopefully is not going to grab and shake her.
Yeah, you're all good.
So like, sword was found 200 years ago. There was strife between clans. It was found beneath a mountain of bodies, and we knew something was wrong with it, and that it shouldn't be left out in the world, so we decided to hide it away instead. And my family was tasked with protecting it. It's not entirely Sloane's fault. It's gone either. I took away their only means of protecting it. I didn't mean to, but...
No. It's okay. You not know. It's okay. Not your fault. And just like strokes her hair gently. Like, it's
Have you ever seen like a 3-year-old stroke a cat and the cat's like, it's like really forceful? That's you right now.
You know, it's okay. It's not your fault. You not know. No, just confused because that what you call him?
Ursamir.
Yes, Mia. Tig remember him. Yeah, Tig met him before Big Bad. He's not supposed to be like that.
Do you know what happened?
He inherited a layer of the abyss. It will change a person.
Oh,
he took that
I
layer.
wrote many
of
notes
with
while
him.
this was happening. This is all the stuff I remembered about Yosemite. I was like, I remember everything. So Baphomet. So Tig remember Baphomet. Baphomet Tig uncle. Definitely not War Daddy. That's
Aurelian?
Yes, Corellian.
Of course I know that.
Das Corellian. Tig met Corellian at Big Temple. Tig go there with friends. And Corellian in Temple, we fight and get Corellian out because Corellian was frozen in big, like.
I need to clarify.
Lightning?
Are you saying that Ursamir is Corellian?
Yes.
Kyle, how much I know that like a half elf dilutes.
Anyone got religion check they want to make? Also,
Yeah,
yes, Sean,
me.
she was saying lightning.
Yeah, she's not good with that word.
Hey, 18
That is
on
a-
a religion check.
Natural 20 on the religion check for 30.
Wow.
We got it.
I didn't even bother.
The other thing you could do... Oh, no, that wouldn't make any sense. Hold up a sec. There are... It, for you, Shelby. It, or Nia, or whatever your name is. It kind of, like, tickles in the back of your mind that this isn't incorrect. Like, you don't know where you've heard it from. Maybe it was something you read as a kid, but you're like... Or was told by someone, but you're like, this...
Distant uncle story, maybe.
Yeah. And then... Sean / Auric, you, remember, you know, being, like, rumors of, certain gods falling. And also, over time, the elves have become more and more barbaric. They started off being very welcoming to strangers, and then over the last few hundred years, 500 years, they started just killing anyone that came within their borders unless specifically invited. It's been rough. This is specifically the northern elves, where Corellian used to hold sway a lot more. They know that Hera, the death god, became a death god due to people revering what was the mortal paladin Hera for giving up her life to take the divine spark from another god and giving it to Corellian, using that divine spark and the depowered Corellian to become this new entity called Ursamir. That divine spark seems to have had issues because he's gone from I'm happy magic god of elves and nature and stuff to blood's nice.
And when he got that other divine spark, that's what began the degradation into this.
It took
state.
a good 150 years for it really kicked in, and then it's been a very slow thing. But the last couple hundred years, it's just been they've been getting worse and worse and worse very rapidly.
When did you last see Corellian?
Before Tig go for
As
nap.
Corellian?
Yeah.
And how long ago did you nap?
Tig just
Do
go
you
for
know
nap.
what a year is?
Yeah. Tig know that once every
Tig, do you know seasons?
once every walk, Tig get nice little boop hat with
Yes, that's a good question.
pom pom on top, and to get present.
Tig, do you know seasons? You know when the sun is here longer and then it changes to shorter and the times in between. Do you know how many long suns you've been asleep?
No.
I suppose that makes sense.
Tig just go for nap and wake up and new animals, some not there anymore, some new trees, some grow bigger. Tig just
It must have been your sleep. If last you saw Corellian, he was, as you describe him, happy and free.
Mm-hmm.
You must have been sleeping for 150 long suns.
To make it even worse, she was asleep in the Fei place, which means that time is all messed up.
Auric would know that, yeah. Well, not 150 years. Maybe more, maybe less. Maybe none at all, maybe all of them. In the Fey, as you call it, time is strange. So 150 years passed for Corellian, but who knows how long it passed for you.
Oh.
But over that 150 suns, Corellian has devolved into Ursamere.
So he just got grumpy?
Yes. Yes.
Very.
In a divine, orchestrated, violent way.
But no, because we help him out of temple, and then we go to library, and that's when then saw Baphomet. Oh, he's not Baphomet. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, no, because then we took Baphomet into library.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when libraries with books. We can go to library with books and get you answers.
Where?
Where is this library?
Yeah. So Tig go to this how Tig know all this stuff. Okay, so Tig go to library. So Tig and Battleship Valistay and Dum and Felix all raise Baphomet. And we take Baphomet to Hera Library, Tig knock on door, we go in, make deal with Baphomet to help us through Hera's library, and read books of dead people, some alive people, but we see their secrets and their lives and memories. And we jump in, and that's when Tig saw about Hera memories and saw mountain open and big white dragon come out, and blue robe talk to big robe to green robe, and on
Shannon's
boat
just blinking.
and and blue robe talk to green robe about Archeon in north and Lord of the Dead in south. Then they fight, and then white dragon come out and they say that's Tiamat. Then we leave library forever, but we can go back to library.
But where is the library?
In death.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Tig can go back.
It's the library of Hera, goddess of death.
Yeah. But we can go back and get you
Gave the divine
answers.
spark to Corellian to turn him into Ursamere.
Yes. Hera has answers. Tig can go back. Tig need to take back her teddy bear.
Did Corellian want the spark?
No,
It's uncertain.
I think
Well,
Corellian...
Tig may know since she seemed to have been there.
I think Corellian was dying, and Hera...
And that was the deal?
In the book, Hera gave something to stop him from dying. And that's all Tig knows. But then we go with him.
Has Auric shared the information about what he found from his religion check yet?
I've kind of bled it out in this conversation.
Okay, yeah, because my question was going to be oh god, no, never mind, it completely fell out.
By the way, if everyone wants to see what actually happened, like everything's Tig's described right now, more or less. happened in the campaign Heart of the Plains, which is on our YouTube channel. So just watch that this week and catch up.
What god did he replace?
Baphomet, right?
No. Baphomet's still alive, still good.
I'm going to jump in here and say, shall we do a nat 20 religion check? And you say, what god did he replace? And then you sort of think about it, and you realize something here. The god of the dwarves, Scorodon, is a mortal man who took the last embers of Moradin and fused them to become, well, immortal. He's a half dwarf, half man. Mortal. They're called mulls, I think. Became this new god. He was a god of war and the forge, honor, victory, rage, and he sort of got in a bit of trouble a couple hundred years ago when different gods effectively attacked him to steal parts of his domain to gain more power. So the Mad Prince was a god of money, mercantilism, yeah. So he took the domain of the forge from him, become the god of money and industry, commerce and industry. And then Ursamir was a god of blood and ice, but wanted to get his war domain back because he had memories of it, so took the bloody parts of war, the savagery, the massacres. So all that's left of Scorodon now is he is a god of dwarves, honor, and victory. This is a pretty, like, someone that, like, you rolled nat 20, so I'm gonna say you had talked to some scholars about this sort of stuff a long time ago, and it's, you know, different visions and dreams were given out to disciples of different gods, and this is like kind of slowly over maybe a decade became known amongst the people.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that story like a year ago.
It's funny how things tie together when you guys start actually pulling all the strings that have been talked about for 2 years into a ball. You're like, oh, this all makes some sort of weird sense.
How long ago was that? Is there a rough idea of how long ago the scouring of Scorodon was?
It's about 100 years ago.
Yeah, that makes sense. And okay, so then is there any understanding of the blood and ice domain of where he got that, or was that just what was divinely sparked into him?
Tell you what, I'm gonna actually make another religion check to know exactly, like, to put things together here, to figure out the story of Hera.
24.
Of course. Wizards, man.
Hey, 2 years ago you were like, you're gonna be the skill guy. You know, you're gonna be the one who always solves the problems with your skills, because that's your thing. You're the skill monkey.
And now, so
unless you ask me about survival or athletics.
You're like, oh my god, I do not want to go for a walk or survive in the wilderness. So there was this god that was trapped on the material planes before the god of law had cemented the planes into where he wanted them to be. And it was considered just a walking calamity. Everything within 100 miles just became frozen over, and it was trapped. Like, people managed to trap it in a bigger, like, caldera, but it was slowly eroding the mountain volcano away, with the storm's ferocity, ice and wind. So a group of people, well, I believe at that point it was 2 gods and Hera, went in there to knock him flat, to kill him, to take his divine spark. And Hera said, I will take his divine spark and give it to Corellian to stop him from dying. The gods couldn't do it because you had to take your heart and replace it with a divine spark and carry it within you for a while. The god's like, we're not giving up our godhood. No, fuck that. So Hera sacrificed herself to do this. That god was a originally mortal man who gained power and followers and made a deal with Baba Yaga for power and then rescinded a little bit of that deal, so she transformed him into a demon lord. But he still had all the power of God. That corrupted divine spark. Hera didn't know it was corrupted. It was what was given to Krelian. Hera ended up getting thanked by the elves and Krelian by becoming I can't remember the proper term, but like a white lich. Baelnorn Lich, yeah. Keeper of the library of the elves and protector. And then because people kept revering her, that library slowly sunk into the shadow plane and became her library, her labyrinth.
Curious stories, rumors, myths, realities.
Snorkel.
Tick, your brain is just as strong as your muscles.
Really?
Twig climbs up your back and starts patting you on the head really fast.
Okay,
Yay.
so it's good. I guess we know the origin. How the fuck do we stop him?
We take out the divine spark that corrupts him.
Take don't have enough
purify
space
it.
for another heart. I've already done that once before.
I'm gonna be honest. We all fought a dragon once and barely made out of that alive. And I guess it was a fifth of a god. Sure, we tried to fight a fifth of a god and all nearly died. We can't take a war guide.
Is it like pulling out a heart?
Yes,
And won't
and
that
to me?
hurt? And won't that hurt Slum?
At this point, Tamel stands next to Or it's like, maybe we should go over what happened we talked about last night. That might help them make a decision.
Yes.
They're running from problem to problem without really picking one. You guys have to decide what you were going to focus on so you can actually attain win.
We are not going to be able to deal with War Daddy.
Someone clip that.
Excellent.
Saying War Daddy in the most serious voice. We are not going to be able to deal with War Daddy.
It fucked me up.
Somebody clips that. I will animate it.
I'm
for
so
the
mad.
David
I'm so mad that came out.
No. If you clip it, I will animate it for the Roll for Damage channel. I will.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Someone please clip that.
We are not going to be able to deal with Ursamir within the next half a day that he is rampaging. We will not be able to defeat him.
Back, right?
You know, our goal is survival. There are other means of combating him. Other means of deals that can be made. This is why I need to go to Xonthal's tower. I need the tome within.
Do we even know where
Let's
that
go
is?
there.
Can you teleport?
Yes.
Okay. If we get close enough, you can teleport through maze.
We may end up 100 or so miles in an odd direction, but
It's an adventure.
You made it work on the boats. You can probably make it work here.
that's true. But as Tamella's right, we need to discuss... Well, they're both problems at hand, but we need a full understanding of everything. I analyzed the map. And there are 3 passages through the forest, through the fields, through the camps to Xonthal's tower. There is a passage to the west that will bring us there the quickest, but we will run the risk of encountering enemies. But we will have eyes, because we will be close to the mount, or not close to the mountains. We will be in the open air, not the forest. There's a path in the middle that will take us a week and some, but we'll be blind. And then there's a pass to the east and the northeast that will take us close to the mountains. It's the longest pass. We have a chance of encountering Etredalians to potentially ask for help, resupply. But we also may run into the war bands of the Jotunheim demon worshippers. There are rumors of full-blooded demons there as well.
Which path is the one we might encounter the least on? The first one? Have eyes at least?
We'll have eyes and it'll be the quickest so we can get in and out, but regardless, this army is moving south. And we may be cut off from our ship if we are not careful. The quickest path gives us that time to get a jump and return quickly.
We've wasted enough time getting here. And we keep fucking things up and wasting more time.
Xonthal's tower is not the end of the cult. It is only a step. There are other things here. There are other things here in Jotunheim near. And Auric will look to Mel for a second, and then to Nia. Death shared knowledge with me. And the White Dragon is here, in Jotunheim. And you know what it protects.
That's why Sam sent me here.
Yes, I learned that as well. He'd hoped you and your brother would find it for him.
He won't tell me why. Half-dragons have looked for the body of Bahamut for centuries. It's almost like a pilgrimage. I don't know why he wants it. Frankly, I didn't even think it was real up until recently.
The remains of a god radiate power. Power that can be used for the destructive cause of the Five. Or perhaps it is part of the cultist's needs.
Wait, what was the thing that was written in the journal? Summit, Awake the Sister? Because correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle. In your Pacific Pantheon, Bahamut and Tiamat are siblings, are they not?
Yep.
Yes.
Do you think that they're trying to... So, we know that the cult probably doesn't want the horsemen here either. We all know that. Do you think that maybe they're trying to rouse Tiamat because it'll bring Bahamut back?
To protect the world from the cult, or go through every single fucking enemy we have. The horsemen. I spoke to Tamel about this last night, and long ago we talked about what was worth suffering over to prevent annihilation. The hunger in the dark rises at the breaking. Was the reverse I found over and over in my research. The hunger is the void, is famine.
Oh, what's the break-in then?
Return of Tiamat, potentially. It will shatter the divide. Although we have somewhat done that ourselves, it seems. But temporarily, Tiamat will be back in the material plane completely. If the cult succeeds, it will break what separates the gods from this world.
So
It's not a bad thing.
the void.
Look where we are now.
The void
Sorry.
comes and Tiamat fights it, or
That's what the cult believes.
Wait, the cult wants to open up the void?
No, the cult wants to bring Tiamat to stop the void.
Yes.
Oh, let's bring Tiamat. Yeah, let's do that. Yes.
from what?
No, void very bad. Void very, very bad.
Void is very bad, but so is Tiamat.
No. When Eric, take me to tell you something important.
One moment. I just need this sweet. The blood from the sister could raise the sleeper, shining brighter than all others.
Bahamut's
Tiamat
the platinum dragon. He shines
brings.
brighter.
Yes, the void comes for the prime shards born of shards, gods, trapped in cages of law. The dark is hungry and unopposed. The 5 heads of the tyrant queen combine to rage against the dying of the light. Tiamat must rise. This is the prophecy of this.
What I'm going to get you to do, Sean, is actually type that whole thing into our chat.
I
So
can
that
copy and paste it because it's from my notes in session 8 of season 1.
that way
What a
these
legend.
November 20th.
November 20th, 2020, right? Like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes
2
my
years
heart
ago.
sing when people
2
take
years ago,
long-standing
Nia was
notes.
vomiting up sand to get this translation, and look at where we are now, guys.
It was
So-
worth it, wasn't it?
Tamel's going to hear that. Yako and I talked to a few people while you were off gallivanting around and adventuring and whatnot. But from what some learned folks have said, the things are breaking regardless. The way the judge locked the planes together, they're not meant to be like that, and eventually they will shatter. That shattering, if the void rises at the breaking, like you said, it's a case of you either raise Tiamat in time, create a break, and she fights and maybe she wins, or you don't, and you're fighting the horsemen unopposed.
Yes. And the rising of Tiamat may also bring about the rising of Bahamut, and together, potentially, they can hold back the horsemen.
Wait, so that rings
But it says
a
the
bell as
blood
well.
of the sister, she may need to die in order for Bahamut to come back.
At this point, just side note, Sloane has been listening, and now she's gonna get up and just kind of like step away from the group and just go sit by herself.
Information overload for poor Sloane. And maybe Shannon.
Definitely Sloane.
I have a question, Kyle.
Uh-huh. That's me.
It's based on it's based just because on how Nia was raised. Would I potentially think that the return of Tiamat would also bring about the return of dragons in general to the plane? Or are they just
Yeah.
gone, fucked.
No, that will probably bring about at least all the chromatic dragons.
And the return of Bahamut might bring back the nice ones.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to get everyone who wants to, except for Tig, because no. To roll an intelligence check. Because something's been mentioned a couple times, and I'm going to see, as Tamel starts to talk about this, you might remember it, because it has been mentioned to Yako, and Yako mentions things to Tamel.
22.
Okay, you both will know.
I rolled a natural 20 with a -1.
Okay, so you
Sloan
all...
walks
As
away
I'm
and
walking
takes a
away.
break, and then comes running back and goes, "Oh!"
So Tamel mentions something like, look, one of you must have said something to Yako, because he was telling me that a long time ago, Bahamut and Tiamat used to be one and a Titan.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she doesn't want... It's not about bringing Bahamut back. She wants to become a Titan again. She won't need worshippers. She won't need anything. She will exist and be very, very powerful.
Then
She would be fused with Bahamut again.
And as long as... I don't know if she gets to be the dominant personality or if she goes back to being whatever she was before. But I don't know if y'all seen an actual Titan at full power before. I haven't.
No.
did we see? Didn't have? I needed
we saw an
names
undead
down
Titan.
below. Didn't?
Yeah, undead. That's
yeah,
not full
didn't we
power.
see the undead?
Yes, Tig.
So when we raised Baphomet, door opened to void, and Tig saw Magic Man, like Auric, but became bad because of Black Orb, got sucked into void, and he said that giant gods, is that the same as a Titan?
Yes.
I think, yes. So
Potentially, yes. Shards
Yeah.
of shards.
Yeah, he said that
big
giant
shards.
gods are eating people, getting stronger to break through and come here. And that was before Tig have long naps. Like not just nap, but long naps. This was a long time ago. And Tig's seen Void open a couple times since then. And when Tig saw into Void, Tig saw Titans. We need our own. It's bad. If we don't have a Titan,
But
we
problem-
lose.
the problem with that is if Tiamat is the Titan and she's the dominant one, then
But can you not make deals with dragons? Like, if you don't kill me, I'll give you gold. You know, like you can talk to them. You can't talk to the void unless you're Auric.
might have an idea. That's gonna sound really fucking crazy, especially when I just said we can't fight a god.
Ideas are good.
It said that the blood of the sister could wake the sleeper. If Bahamut is, if we're assuming that means Bahamut, then Tiamat has to rise and then she has to die in order for the best outcome here. Because if that rises Bahamut, that is an incredibly powerful god on the mortal plane that might not just set the world in flames because they don't pay tribute.
I think that is the greatest outcome we could perceive.
So then we need to kill a god?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which means that we probably should get to know some gods and ask for some favors and make not stupid promises.
Nia just looks over at the cup that's still sitting in the sunlight.
Oh.
If any of you have god friends, maybe you should go say hi.
It seems as though a conversation is needed with Ursamir, potentially.
You probably heard that,
You said-
Sloane.
Yeah, and you just like I went and sat by a tree, and now I'm just like, just. Sloan is very clearly overwhelmed, very clearly, just with all of this information.
Sloan said that Esamir wanted to stop this coming calamity, despite his wickedness. It's why he offered a deal to her.
Isn't there a saying, the enemy of my enemy?
Yes.
Pig!
I hate the gods.
So I see you guys have been walking and talking, heading slowly northwards. Yeah. And Timur's like, all right, look, this is all well and good, but we need to figure out which way we're going. We can keep. We definitely need to discuss this at length. You're on the right track, I think, but we also need to make sure we're on the right track. Are we going west, north, or east?
Yes, we need to face the problem at hand.
I know that the west path, I know we might encounter people, but if we can have eyes and it's fast, the middle one, we're blind. We don't know what we're going to find. And the east one is going to take too long. But we could find supplies on the west. It's fast. We have eyes on what's happening. We can be alert. Avoid kill teams and scouts if we see them ahead. We're just a small group. It's not hard to hide us. We don't have horses or caravans. We're just us on foot.
All right, I think I need. Are you voting west, Neil? All right, I vote west. What does everyone else say?
We have enough food to do west. Just enough. As long as we don't tarry.
As long as you're happy to go west?
Sure, whatever the group wants.
Just once. Welcome in, holy shit, thank you for the raid, 71 people. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for the raid.
Hello.
Guys are doing two things at the moment.
Super serious faces on when you came in.
They're deciding between what of three paths to take, and or like physically in the world, which 3 mountain passes to take, and then which end of the world scenario they think works best. Do they want to let Tiamat rise, or do they want to not do that and they want to deal with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse?
Yeah, pick your apocalypse.
Yeah, so they're having a good time.
Sounds a bit better.
So I think once we get Sloane's vote on west, north, or east,
I sit. Sloan said whatever the group wants.
Okay, so far we got.
I don't think my mic picked it up.
All right, did you say west as well, Sean?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going west. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna take a. Like, I'm not gonna go off stream. We're just gonna take a 2-minute break. People that need water, coffee, whatever, because it's been 2 hours of information, and feel like people might need to just like stretch their legs for a minute. So, yeah, if do that. If I know 2 of you have mentioned that you are feeling sick/sleepy. Hopefully you both need to go. Both don't need to go. But if you do, can you maybe just leave your camera on so that I don't have to rearrange the things? Put something over your camera. Mute yourself.
Yeah, we're all good.
All right.
How much longer
cool.
do you expect
Not more than an hour.
Okay.
That's why it's like just 2-minute quick break. Go get yourself a glass of water or coffee or whatever.
Yeah, I just had another cold and flu tablet, so I'm good for another couple of hours to live.
Okay.
God, my house is an icebox.
All right. Is anyone going, or you just want to just keep?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
go. Yeah, I gotta go.
We'll be right back. Sorry.
We'll be right back.
Sarah, if you want to make me a coffee, that'd be amazing.
Only reason
This is now turned into the Nova and Sean Power Hour.
Yes,
Welcome to Nova
it's
Sean
the
Power Hour,
it's
yeah.
actually the most powerful hour on the internet. So that was pretty good, and I liked the callback to episode 8, season 1, because I know I'd given you the full prophecy at some point.
Yeah. So it's funny because a lot of these things are things that Auric has discerned before and put together, and it's just been like cataclysmic event after cataclysmic event that has stopped any kind of like focus for the group. Because I remember that was really, truthfully, if we're really looking at the last time we actually fully talked about it all, was when we pieced together the entire prophecy.
Yeah, which is a long.
And I remember
time.
at the time being like, oh shoot. And then the next time I was really going to talk about it was back at the beginning of the season when Nia came back. Auric's continual attempts to talk to Nia were going to be about the prophecy, and to be like, hey Nia, I know what you know now after being tortured by the Five. I know you know what is in Jokelheim. Let's talk about it because we're going there.
Yeah,
and then the world kept, and then the Five kept being like, nope.
Well, like, okay, if you think about it, right? Every single time Nia has been offered the chance to come clean, the Five have done something. Like, even when Nia did her first Sarnaric ritual, actually trying to reach out to her god again, Sam came and stopped that shit. But he can't come here for some reason. And I still have that last charge of Eyes of the Runekeeper, so that we can maybe at the next long rest have Auric and Nia sit down together and go over the book. And
I talked to that about that before the session, so I'll probably keep to that so we can get you guys actually moving out of the forest. And
Auric also has comprehend languages, so we can efficiently look at it together.
Yeah, and I wasn't meaning like the next long rest we role play out, not like
cool.
Yeah.
Because you guys will probably camp at the edge of the forest and then make for the pass, hopefully.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, no, just the next time me and Auric have a little sit down, we'll bring out the book, because Nia's been holding that journal very close to her and has not like let you physically touch it since she came back.
Do you know what's funny is this whole war god thing. I thought if it doesn't last long, so it doesn't matter. But I was sitting there for a good section of like RP or something in the beginning, looking at my protection from evil and good spell that I have, and unfortunately only lasts for 10 minutes, but it does prevent fiends from possessing or controlling an individual.
Does it expel possession?
I do have Dispel Evil and Good that does Dispel, which I have used once before in Sloan.
About to say, like maybe we just
and
always
War Daddy
have
left for like a half hour and then came back real mad.
I'm just maybe. It's
and I mean, by left, I
having...
imagine it was more. It's more like blocking than like sending him somewhere else.
He just sits in the
we shut the door
sits
on
in the
him
sword, and he's just like, right. But now you guys,
realistically, I probably should have caused what's happening right there then, because the language is similar to Divine Word with Dispel Evil and Good.
The reason I separated out is because of the difference in spell levels.
That makes sense. Yeah, this is a level 1 spell.
Yeah, and let me just correct something here, because
Spell Evil and Good is 5th level.
Shannon keeps saying, and everyone keeps saying, that War Daddy's in her soul. It's not quite correct. Her soul exists in the sword.
Yes.
And he puppets the body and allows the body to be used like Wi-Fi.
Well, that's what the deal. That's what the deal she made at the end of that season was.
So
for the chats, like continuity, I guess I think we should probably explain that in season 2, Sloane had her heart ripped out by Ersmere for reasons, and that killed Sloane. Technically, Sloane became a revenant before Sloane saw Aura getting hurt and accepted, like, basically was like, give me the power, I want to help my friend. And then Sloane fully sold her soul in season 4 when Sloane was trying to get a soul out of the sword because she didn't mean to kill them, and it was a party member's brother.
Sloane's flip-flopped a lot with, I want your help, I'll do whatever you say, to, nah, fuck you, War Daddy. So, slash Osamir. So, that's why she's gone through a lot and suffered a lot. If she had just been like, alright, I'm on board, or nah, fuck this, I'm out, it would have been like a nice, clear trajectory, storyline, super easy to follow, but instead it's just been like, boop, 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 like, back and forward the whole time. I want the power to help. Actually, I don't.
It matches Sloane's naivety and and her emotions.
Well, what it really matches is the fact that Sloane, in her, like, before she got the sword, didn't like killing, didn't like raiding, didn't like fighting. The sword creates that, elevates that within her, which creates this dichotomy of wills inside of her, of her own will.
Sloane made her think that she was enjoying it, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Shannon, because you're here now and you can absolutely explain Sloane's mental state.
You guys do a great job.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I would have imagined it would have made a safe space within Sloane, because when she was raging with the sword, she didn't feel these, like, oh, I'm doing a bad thing now.
She didn't feel the guilt at all. Nope, she didn't feel the guilt, but now that War Daddy's gone, like, on top of, feeling like listening to all of this and then reflecting on everything that she's done, like, this is a lot for my poor barbarian. This is a lot.
Yeah. It's hard when your character's, like, in perpetual, like, guilt contemplation. I get that. God, I get that. It's a hard thing to roleplay, but you're doing a great job.
Thanks.
Sarah, if you put it here.
That's why I like playing Lorik. He's done nothing wrong.
A hot chocolate or a coffee? So
we're not going to talk about the people who cut in half with a gate right before
that is
the
at this point is the least of Oric's sins.
The hundreds
and
of
it's truly the one time that he accidentally
killed
killed
someone.
someone.
You helped were the 1,000 people you helped murder just to bring Mia back.
Is this alcoholic?
Let's not search the magic boat for a diamond or a resurrection scroll. This used to be a magic shop boat.
Because there was gonna be a diamond and a resurrection scroll on that shit. You think no one's gonna give me that?
You never looked.
Because I know Nova. And I know
I'm just saying, you never looked. And if you told Yako it was for
as soon as we get back to the boat, I'm gonna look.
I missed that last bit, but it's fine. Okay, guys, we're all back. So we're gonna go. Where's the music at? All right. So here's the thing. We've got 2 events I hope to have done by the end of the session. We'll see if they happen. If not, we'll have to push one on. But you guys walk and talk, and as you get back towards the almost the nightfall, and you're kind of counting down the minutes before Sloane gets re-deified, there's the sound of just the heavens breaking, and there's a comet streaking through the sky. And it crash lands
for us not to be found
about 150 feet away from you. To the west.
Has been revealed. That's great. That's good to know.
Oh, not again.
We need to move now.
Do we see anything once it crashes? Like, do we see a creature, entity, or is it just a crater?
I will say that it kind of like came streaking across the sky, like sort of above you, like snapping trees, smashes into the ground. And just make a perception check for me, please. Greetings, adventurer.
Everybody?
Yeah, sure. Usually I wouldn't say, but yeah, this time, yes.
Okay.
Hell yeah, 24.
17.
6.
Oh, Sloane's still overloaded. The poor thing.
So overloaded.
She's got a headache.
Half-dead Ursamir is laying on the ground, breathing heavily.
Finish him off is the question.
I rolled a 20. I'm not sure if that makes any difference.
Yeah, everyone above 17 would have seen it.
Awesome.
Orc starts walking towards it.
Yeah, I think Nia does too, and maybe for a second contemplates taking a sword out, but doesn't.
I'm going towards him with my big arm.
I'm just following because I didn't see what happened, but everybody else
Sloan.
is going that way.
When you get 50 feet
Sloan.
away, you'll notice.
Before we get there, Orc will tell her what it is. It's him.
Already?
He's injured. Stay behind us. Cast protection from evil and good on Sloan.
Thanks.
I take up a guard position in front of Sloan.
How dead is he right now?
Half dead.
Half dead. There's like
How many times
burnt,
could I punch him?
burnt sword cuts all the way through him. He's got like maybe 30 lacerations across his face, chest, arms, and legs.
Tig, do not engage yet. Do not play. No play yet.
Don't want to
Maybe
play,
play.
just annoy.
Don't annoy either.
Hold it back till
Orto,
my signal.
it is almost time. I tried to help.
How did you try to help?
Took angel from Etredale, god of law, minion. Tried to seal hole I made. That winged bitch stopped me. War.
War.
Yes.
War meets war. What now, Esme?
Need to find a way to kill it.
No more games then.
Never played games. I give her the power to kill. I give her the ability, the mindset, the will. All you have to do is let her do it.
Esme, you have done exactly that. But you have also wasted alliances, disrupted our ability to move freely, and nearly gotten us killed as well. You are right, you are trying to help, and I see that now, that I have a clearer picture of all of this. But you have not always been helpful.
She resists me at every turn.
And that results in her killing blindly when it matters not, does not progress our goal, does not bring us closer to defeating the horsemen or stopping all of this.
The only way to make the connection stable is to force more power, and she loses her mind. She is but mortal. She will get there. She could be more if she agreed and promised and stopped betraying. I am diminished severely. In her body, even when she's wounded, I was not. But this is all I am. Every cut took my power. Every cut took a bit away. I gave her the ability to see this through. Ask questions, I will not lie.
I have seen visions of other lives, other realities, of what happens when she lets go. And it does not create a unified force against the horsemen, it creates a conqueror of those who you deem you try to protect here. I understand your nature. But we need some assurances if we're going to work with you.
You need to listen when Sloan says no. If she doesn't want to take a life, you need to stop forcing her to. Because that's what's causing a lot of her regret, her indecisiveness.
I don't think you understand the stakes we are playing at.
And I don't think you understand calculations, Esmir. There is an entire camp of slaughterable enemies. And we can direct these things if you work with us, and I have already worked with you. It was painful somewhere inside. But there are suitable outlets for power that do not create friction with those you wish to work with.
Why? What did you see in this vision?
I saw Red Queen destroying and ripping everything apart, and perhaps that is your plan. The destruction of anything.
The horseman there was Tiamat. Or did she finish it? You think you know? Cannot comprehend how a god sees. I know you are becoming, but this is different.
Then show us. Show me. Show me this comprehension.
I warn you.
Are you willing?
Your mind me.
I have already touched one god's mind. I am willing to touch another's.
Auric.
Are you willing?
Auric, maybe we should think about this first.
This could permanently damage.
Is this something you have to do now? Do you have to be outside the sword to do it?
I need everybody to stop. Just stop. Stop talking for me. Stop talking about these things that are happening. It's too much. I know what I promised. And I will do what I can to fix it, to make it better, whatever it takes for every person here. Just stop making my decisions for me.
We are not making decisions for you, Sloan. We are talking with...
He swipes his hand to the side, and you are trapped in like a bubble of silence. If you try to push against it, it's almost like a force cage and silence together. You can try to cast spells high enough to break out, but it will take you a bit of time. He wants to hear Sloan. Just a moment.
Auric won't resist.
You can hear out, by the way. You just can't say anything and be heard. Sloan. Queen in red. His vision. He saw. His enemies, our enemies, were defeated. We'd have no need to stay here on this plane. Return home, solidify my power, raise myself elsewhere. At that point, given our deal, you would be with me. Your husk would continue. It is up to your friends at that point to stop you. Save the world for them. They need
but
to
where is the vision that... Where is the possibility that we work together to... And that I'm not a murderer? Where is the part that... Where is the part that...
Every life you take gives me power. Enough lives.
I know that.
You can kill a god. That blade is a god-killing weapon. Transformed a whole plane of the abyss and myself to let you have that. You could strike down Irma. You could strike down other things. When everything breaks. The horsemen come. It will take the gods from outside of here time to get to the mortal realms and fight. If Tiamat takes down the horsemen in time, all is well. The gods will fight it out, go back home.
And then what of you and me in that situation?
We will return home, my queen.
This is my home. With them.
You will have the power of a demon. You can be summoned here to see them whenever. It is the deal you made. If the gods rally faster and try to kill Tiamat, they will not be of her strength. She is power. They will still rely on their mortal worship. She will be newly reborn, more powerful. You will need me and the blade. Cut them down, stop them from going up, so that she has a chance. That is the power I gave you. Yes, you're a killer, but you are killing in defense of everything. I'm not going to lie, I like to tear things, I like to feel the body's cut. It is what I am. But I came here to make sure I could continue existing. Everyone could continue existing. Because your existence, their existence, means that this little ball continues turning. People keep waging war in my name, and I continue. It is the only way. So what do you want, Sloane, the Queen?
At the moment, I want you to let him out. And I jerk my head towards the silence ball.
He just kind of like, more just for show that it's been done, he just waves his hand and it drops.
I turn to Auric. I don't know what to do.
Can I ask a question?
Who are you asking that
to? The god.
Oh, okay.
The god is climbing, like he was like sitting / kneeling. He's like climbing to his feet, and he looks up at the passage of like the sun to the horizon. Like, you have minutes. I am gone.
What happens to Sloane's husk?
It rampages across the world, fueling his layer of the abyss. A new enemy to kill. Not a god, though.
This is true.
And if that husk is destroyed, will it hurt wherever Sloane goes?
Oh, she will already be with me.
She is completely severed from it. It's like when she was just a husk before. Revenant.
Nia is going to go up to Sloane.
The sword will no longer contain us or the abyss at that point. It will just be a powerful.
Sloane, whatever decision you make right now, I'll support you regardless. But if you decide that you want to take his help, I'll make sure that you don't kill anyone else when it's done. If that's what's you're afraid of, I won't let you. I'll do my job as the keeper, and I'll put the husk down. But that's only if that's what you want.
I don't know what I want.
Does she have to make this decision now?
I need to know. I can trust that we will work together, or if you continue to fight. Every time you fight, things get worse.
Whatever you decide, Sloan, you need to stick with it now. This is the final choice. You understand?
Maybe I can make an act of goodwill. And he lays a hand on your head. Yeah? Any attribute damage you've taken is healed.
Oh, wait, what?
And you're level 17.
Cool?
And he walks over to Auric.
Boy.
You can have the same treatment. Or my comprehend. Trust me. I say. If I show you all things, it will not help.
Your comprehension won't help us.
You're already teetering on. Why would you see everything else just shattering?
Please don't become like Magic Man. Magic Man tried to do what he's saying you shouldn't do. And it destroyed him. And now he keeps living in the void and he's coming back. Don't become like Magic Man. Be better. Do it for Sloan. And don't ask for more knowledge.
I already think you're very smart.
Your wisdom is not wrong. This is my dash for something that will come with proper time. I do not need to link our minds. I will find the knowledge myself.
Have something. And he places a hand on your head. What? So is everyone level 16 currently?
Not
Yeah,
anymore,
cool.
yes.
Sean, you are now level 17 wizard. You still have your druid level. You also see that there is a plane. It's not a very big one. It's the convergence point of all planes. And it's where all the big chief gods sit and bicker about the running of the realms. Currently, they're all up and fighting and yelling and no one... And it's not just the good gods, it's all gods. They can't really attack each other through this. They have to do it in different ways, but it's like a... Imagine it like a holographic meeting room. Where they can all...
Yeah. Jedi Temple.
Yeah, exactly, right. And that's it. And you've got things like Asmodeus there. You've got, you know, all of the things there. And you hear, and this is what came here. Get nowhere. But
Shards of shards.
You see from that, it goes through the goddess of magic, who you remember as Saris's god. And
never forgot that.
Ophelia.
Mm-hmm. And from her, there's a smaller, it's like a Yeah, like a shard within a shard scenario. And it's all the little gods and goddesses of magic. The ones that have been fucking with things and making it so you can only have like one school of magic at a time, really.
The jealous children who don't want to share their toys.
Doing the same thing. All yelling. And you're learning that all the gods are really just jealous children who don't want to share their toys. And they're more worried about how they will do after the apocalypse, not worrying about stopping the apocalypse.
Stopping it.
Which is the same thing the mortals are doing right now, which is why you guys had to like fight tooth and nail to get to fucking talk to each other.
That's just gonna be impossible. We didn't even do that for the people.
He takes a hand from your head, places it on both your shoulders. "90% of the mortal, the original ones, were wiped out in a cataclysm alone.
So I've heard.
As such, they bicker. Do better. And if you need a blade to wipe the slate clean." He looks towards Sloane. He walks past Tig. He doesn't not gonna touch you, Tig.
Oh, thank God.
Tig might punch him in the face.
Do you accept this partnership? I've healed your friends.
I look at both of them.
Nia looks healthier than you've seen her look since we got here, since the burning touched her, actually.
Unless you say something to Auric, he is 1,000-yard stare calculating the next 5,000 years of his existence.
You also have all your tribute damage helped, like fixed if you had any.
I think I had 1 constitution that was gone.
Let us do this properly. Do not fight me. Kill where you need. Do not hold back. I know it weighs heavily. When this is over, if we survive, carve out your own realm within the abyss. Be whatever you want. There, you can still
Don't
save.
know if I want that, though. I don't know what I want.
Esme.
And he's starting to crack now as the time is almost up.
Auric rushes over to Sloane and pulls her a few feet away, privately, and casts silence around us.
I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. All I want to do is help.
This will help.
But I feel like it's too
Nia,
late to do anything else.
the choice is always ours as individuals. It may be too late to do much else, and you may be significantly weakened by declining this, but it is your choice to make.
Will you be mad at me if I say yes?
I don't know. There are endless possibilities where I am mad, where I am happy, where I am sad. Too many. What I can
What
tell
then,
you
Noni?
now, in this moment, I would not be mad. And I will assert the same promise as Nia. Whatever you wish done to the husk of yourself. But I will also keep you from... As I've done, I will keep you protected. And protect those who we need to protect from you. As best I can. So that you will bear as little guilt as you can. But it is your choice, Sloane. There is much we could do together. When it's all finished. Carve this world into something better. Free so many people.
Oric is like in his own head there when he starts to say
Yep.
these things.
Yeah.
Since I think everyone else is almost in tears, I feel like you might be catching a lot of that right now.
Yeah, Oric is... This is the most emotion you've seen on Oric's face in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And that emotion is a tool. If you go through this, I will do what I must. I will do what I must to stop you if I have to. Do you understand? I will never be mad, though.
I just want to make the right choice.
There are no right choices. Only our own choices.
What would you do? If you were me, what would you do?
I've already made this choice. And I do think about what would happen if I didn't. And I've seen what would happen if I didn't. And perhaps I'd be happier. Or perhaps I'd die for not taking the power necessary. I cannot tell you what I would do, because it is what I would do. You need to do what you want to do. And there's precious moments left to make that choice.
At this
No,
point,
and
he's got no arms,
Remember,
no
it is
legs.
final.
He's a rib cage and head.
Whatever you choose, so there's no turning back. It must be fully embraced. It's the only way.
So, DM, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding correctly. The choice here is to, I mean, he's coming back no matter what. So the choice is to stop fighting him or keep doing what I've been doing.
Yeah, which is stopping him from attaining full power, and also is creating the outburst where you accidentally kill people you probably shouldn't. And there's a chance you could expel him, but then no one has his power, and he's just, the next freaking 10-year-old who can't pick up that sword and go through the same things you've been going through. So
Oh God.
you're just passing this on to whoever finds the
It'd be
sword next.
Stefan.
Oric, I've come to help. Oh,
He'll
what's
have
this?
his little wizard book from me, and he'll have his Kopesh from Sloane.
That child is going to grow up to be a villain.
That child will be the big bad of 7 campaigns from now in Nova's
Yep.
world.
Yep.
They do play the long game, so why not?
Okay. After having this conversation with Auric, I'll nod and then turn around.
Auric will give you a hug.
And
Perhaps
I hug you
all
back.
the emotion in the room.
Yeah, I'll hug you back as tight as I can without breaking your bones.
Your bear cloak is almost fully formed across you because he's been slowly like disintegrating and coming back to you.
Yeah. Ooh, that's cool. Ooh, that's a really cool image. I'll turn back to what's left of Ursamir, and still kind of like not fully out of the hug yet, but looking at Ursamir and say, "Okay."
His ribcage disappears and forms like two skeletal arms. He wraps his arms around you and says, "No, but you will still do good after. One love help I can give you." And he whispers this to you, and he puts a bit of a compulsion on you so you can't repeat it out loud, and he'll say, "Have you heard of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle? Letting him know change the outcome. A lot of power here and now. After you accept, Auric's soul is on it. It won't take. Done the right thing. You don't gain a level yet, but you almost instantly feel your body starting to change. And once the changes take place, you won't just be gaining one level. I'm not telling you what you get, but I think you like it.
Oh shit.
On top of that, you hold up your, like, it appears and the weapon appears in your hand. As you're looking at it, it's kind of like fuzzy at the edges.
I also dropped protection from good and evil, so this can all happen. Because I was definitely going to stop this.
Just to be sure.
And while you're holding it, whatever weapon you want it to be, it will become. So if you think Kopesh, it's a Kopesh. If you think axe, it's an axe.
Oh,
so you can, at any point, you can flip open the player's handbook and be like, "I want a," and it will be.
Oh, cool.
wow.
Like, just
Sloan,
like...
a Hexblade Warlock?
Wait, Sloane's biggest conundrum from the beginning of the season. It's an axe or a sword. It can be
It.
Yes.
You can walk into a building with a pocket knife and then turn it into a battle axe. Like, you can...
At any time.
At any time. It takes a bonus action, but it's just done.
Cool. Okay. Another goddamn bonus action. All right. That's awesome.
Have fun with that.
Cool. I think we'll end the session there.
Sometimes Tig's just been standing there going, "You got this!"
Cool.
Hit
As you
points
guys
just,
head...
like, nearly doubled. Jesus Christ.
You guys head northwest, towards the path. And because this took longer than I expected it to, I'm going to push the event that I was going to have happen next to another time. But I'll say that you guys will be at the start of next session, more or less in sight of Xonthal's tower. You should be walking through that path and over.
Cool.
I hope you all enjoyed the session.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna definitely need to come back tomorrow to go over my notes.
yeah, there was a lot of information not given so much as just finally pulled together. Because I know a couple people over the last few weeks have been like, "I'm not sure where the story's at," and I think actually saying it all out loud has been like, "And that's where the story is." You've got your paths very clearly shown ahead of you. You just need to choose which one.
Yeah.
So I like this. This was good. This was entertaining. We just 3 hours of chit chatting about how the world's going to end. I think at least 2 of you cried, maybe a third.
We all cried. Just admit defeat.
I for once
I have no soul.
Give me that much. I
Yeah.
cry normally.
Deal with
It's
it.
coming back.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm glad. I hope to God Sloan doesn't tell him. I want to see this happen. I just want to see it hit him like a ton of bricks. Just
It's gonna be a
walking
softer
along and,
landing
oh God,
now that I
emotions.
feel other people's feelings. If this was, I mean, this session would have been, Oric would have been the worst. If he had no, didn't have other people's
that
feelings
would've
right
been
now,
horrendous.
he would have.
Or it would have
he would've-
probably gravity sinkhole to God, I think.
He would have been like, emotions, black hole, heart.
No, he would be like,
Sorry.
you know, Sloan, you have to do this. No matter, I don't care what you're feeling, you have to do this.
Yeah.
He would have said.
Yeah.
We're gonna go and say our goodbyes and do our favourite moments. So tell us one for yourself and one for one other
I have a
person.
9th level spell slot now.
I know. And not only that,
What's
you
your
actually get to
favourite moment?
choose your 9th level spells because you
Wow.
technically had one before
Yeah.
from your level of druid, but you didn't actually have
Oh my
access to
dear
any.
God.
Yeah.
Guys, I have 2 action surges now.
I know. Oh, also,
Fuck a bitch.
the fighter rework I was messing with, you can add that to your sheet.
What?
Effectively layering the champion subclass on top of the fighter.
Oh wait, whoa!
I'll show you that
think
later.
you might need to resend me that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I don't
I
have
will.
it on me immediately. Yes, please.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
So, before we all continue, I want to hear your favourite moment from yourself and one other person. And who you are, where you're from. So, we're going to start with reverse order. Sean.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was the question? I'm sorry. I was just looking at the 2 new Dunamancy spells I have access to called Ravenous Void and Time
Jesus.
Ravage.
Those sound terrifying.
If someone fails their the Time Ravage save, they are rapidly aged to the point where they only have 30 days left to live.
Holy fuck.
Holy shit, that's
Also,
savage.
also go look at the Ferromancy and Divination spells.
Yes. Oh, I have the scroll for Singularity. Oh my goodness. I am God.
That's a happy right there.
Singularity.
Little void thing
So,
with us.
Hey, boy bean.
you know, Sean, you keep looking. We'll go the other way. Tig,
Thank you.
tell us who you are, where you're from, your favourite moment from one other person. It can be anyone or me. And then your favourite moment for yourself. I know I chose the only other person who couldn't talk right now, but there you go.
Who? Me?
You, yes.
I was literally in the middle of about to sneeze, so I need to blow my nose. What are we doing first? Favorite moment?
Sure.
Hi.
Is that hard, hey?
Yeah.
You hated the whole session?
No, I didn't hate the whole session. I absolutely loved it. That was adorable. All of it was amazing. But picking a favorite moment is really, really hard. Oh god. Crap. No, come back to me later.
Okay!
I can go. I can go.
Okay, Sean!
So is it just favorite moment for the whole session?
Yeah, of one
Yeah.
from you, like your favourite moment of yourself, and then one from one other person.
Okay. All right. My favorite for one other person. I would say Sloane when she decided to take back her voice in the end and talk to Ursamir herself instead of having other people talk for her and having him actually be like, hey, let's fucking do this, man. Talk to me. Tell me all the deets, and I'll make a real choice. Although my favorite part of that also, though, is that like really strong, like, no one talk to me, and then being like, or talk for me, and then being like, guys, what should I do?
I don't know what
Yeah, I know. I did find that funny. You're like, shut up! I want to do this myself, but also.
also
What would you do? But no, I really liked. I liked that. I liked that last session or 2 sessions ago too, even though Oric didn't like it. And I liked it this session. Where I think in this session it was more like 2 sessions ago it felt like it was Sloane's desperation and Ursamir's influence. This session feels like it was fully Sloane's autonomous. Like, no, I'm done. This is it. I have to figure this shit out on my own. Was really cool. Favorite moment for me, this is very like me and like the lore I know, and I really liked just starting and stopping spells in the beginning, and then I like the particular thing I really like was the looking at the stars thing, because I feel looking at the star, I haven't done it since the pre-game campaign where Oric looked up to the stars and kind of lost his mentality.
You levitated off the cart.
Yeah. Star elves have a bit of a problem there. But it's also kind of like I think in Oric's mind there it was like an escape. It's like this is all kind of like Sloane was saying, this is all becoming too much. If I just look up, I can forget about everything and just look at the stars. And that's kind of what he was channeling there. So I liked that moment. I enjoyed it privately.
Can I just say, if you had done the comprehension thing, I was going to make you do a DC 21 save on every single one of your attributes, as you were just mentally and physically ravaged, and there would have been permanent effects.
I'm glad you did.
Holy shit!
Yeah. But you also would have gained like pretty much ask the DM any 3 questions and just get the DM answer, not like a lore in-game thing. Just be like, oh yeah, it's this. You can do this and you'll get that. And you'll be like, oh, that's interesting.
You were all people sitting in
but you might have ended up completely useless for the actual fights.
Yeah.
It's okay, you would have finally been able to understand and talk to Tig.
Yeah. Intelligence 5.
That would have been fun.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
I'll go.
I was going to say, yeah, I want to go to your partner in crime, but then she cut me off. So rude.
Watch it, pal. I got a war god on my side now.
You do now. Belly scale.
I know. I heard it. My favorite. Well, actually, Sean, do you want to say who your goodbye first before I do it, or you want me to say your goodbye first?
I'm Sean. I've been here for the last hours or so, and will be here for more hours and so. And I am the creative director of a place called Paradise Productions, where we do things like this there. And I had a lot of fun.
Okay.
Bye.
Take it away.
Shannon.
Let's see. My favorite moment for me, I'm piggybacking off of Sean's, because it's a skill that Shannon needs to work on in real life, and I that's one of the things that I love about D&D, is that it gives you a safe place to practice a real life skill. And I love, and in truth, Shannon was very overwhelmed with all of this lore and really didn't know what the right choice was here. So a lot of that was pretty genuine. But that, I don't know, I liked being able to say, everybody shut up, let me do this, but I'm going to be the one that ultimately decides, but I need the input of the people around me. I'm not just going to decide willy-nilly, which is what I did before. And now I feel like I've made more of an informed decision. So that was kind of cool to explore. For somebody else, fucking Tig with all of the lore dump. That was amazing. I was trying to keep up with you writing, writing all of that stuff down. I think I got maybe 50% of it. But
especially the way she describes it.
I really like how you stayed in character during that, you know, and like communicated that to the crew. Also, I really liked Orc giving Sloane a hug because that was really, that sent me over the edge. It was very good.
He was very embarrassed after.
Of course.
Wipes away a tear. I feel nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. And yeah, so I've been Sloane. I'm Shannon. I'm a barbarian here on Roll for Damage, but I'm a rogue at Paradise Productions for Advantage in Paradise. We're coming up on our end game, which is pretty fucking cool. We've got a boss battle within the next couple of sessions.
They've got their own apocalypse to stop.
Yep, we sure do. So yeah, come join us over there. We have other programming too. We do D&D Monday nights. We do Sean streams on Wednesdays and crafts and just we chill. And then on Sundays we recap our sessions and bicker just like we do here, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, that's me.
Okay. We'll go with Shelby, because no, she's sleepy. Sleepy Shelby.
Yes, always. Hi guys, my name is Shelby or Whistle. I'm a channel called Whistle While You Work. I also have a Twitch channel over here called Shadoodles. I'm in the middle of a brand change. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. And let's see, favorite moments. I kind of got to agree with Blood Bishop in the chat for my personal favorite, Nia scrambling up a tree to get away from Tig.
That was so funny.
That was good.
I'm sorry, I said, as soon as like Nia's name was said, it's why I had to like scream to interrupt the scene. Because I was like, no. Nia's not on the ground anymore.
It's like, no, I'm out.
Nia is like a wet cat in a lot of ways sometimes. Just doesn't...
A wet
cat.
Yep, scared, doesn't want to be touched, leave her alone. She's a wet cat. A little angry at people, maybe she shouldn't be. And my favorite moment for someone else was actually, this is something for Auric, and it's more that I can't tell if Auric is manipulating Sloane or if this is maybe a little of Auric's soul coming back with how you spoke to Sloane. Just because, like, I don't trust anything that Auric says right now when it comes to emotional intelligence, because you need a soul to be emotionally intelligent. And I like that I was kind of like, I was both like really, it was a really sweet scene because of what it gave Sloane, but it was also like mildly unnerving to me watching Auric say this, and I'm like, you don't fucking mean that.
Nice.
Yeah.
You don't want
think
to
about
give her
that.
this hug.
Okay.
I didn't even
You
think
never
about
know.
that.
I'm sorry I broke that wall for you, Shannon.
Think about something that
Son of a
Samir said.
bitch.
Like, really, this just advances Auric to godhood, so, like, fuck you, dude. Love you, but fuck you.
At the very least, he was experiencing some genuine emotion through the bleed of all of your emotions. But
Sloane doesn't know any better.
nothing.
The eye helps.
No. It was
really pure.
It gave Sloane what she needed. It's just me as the player. I'm sitting here like squinting at Auric, like.
All right. Sarah, I'm going to cut this 1 second. You tend to ramble through this. I'm going to say...
I wrote it down.
Oh, good. Then I'll shut up.
Rambler. I wrote it down. Hi everybody, I'm Shro. I played Tig today, the other barbarian, who I think on this occasion was not the strongest barbarian, and she's happy to admit that. Yeah.
Nah.
My favorite self moment would probably be finally reaching a point where I saw Sloane as she is as a person and having this new understanding of her and like this level of respect but also pride in seeing her go through the things that Tig's gone through in the past, and now knowing that Tig is as strong as she is because of that, and seeing that Sloane's on this path to greatness as well, and she's just like, nah, she's got this. Like, I'm very, very proud of her now, and I just want to be here to push that and encourage that. Like, she's really looking her with a sense of pride. My favorite other moment would actually be a Sloane one. Actually just seeing her react like a normal person would in this situation. Because in the games of D&D, it's normally like, okay, drama has happened, what do I do? But she's actually going, how are you all okay with this? No, breakdown, go away. So I actually really like that she just reacted like a normal person. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, my favorite moments. Let's have a look. I suck, so nothing from me. Sean,
To accept that.
I think you did a really good job with Tim at the start, and then trying to get the information across to everyone. That was really, really good. I especially did like that, the end part where you and Sloane in Little Silence area were like, alright, you've been partners since the start, really, and, you know, I got you back. Whether that's calculated or not, it's still good that you have it back. I liked Tig and Sloane's head bump. It was adorable.
I know. If I could draw, I'd be drawing that right now.
Yeah.
I was so
cute.
tempted to, not gonna lie, I was very tempted to spend my hero point when I was doing that to see if I could help her like read Tig's mind.
No.
Because I was like, can I commune with beast? Can I commune with nature? No. It's not gonna work. I'll just head bump her and not knock her out.
Sloane, yeah, definitely you standing up for yourself was really good, and then actually like asking a few questions, getting a few answers, and then, you know, once you had that information, you then went to everyone like, what do you do? Because before that, they were all talking for you, and you needed the chance for yourself to get things. So I was pretty happy with that. Yeah, Nia, definitely scrambling up the tree, but also you did a pretty good job of like filling in a few of the gaps, like just a little bit, and being like, hey, actually, what about this thing? What about that thing? With your specific areas of knowledge, and also just being like, Sloane, hey, I know we've been rocky for a while, but I'll kill you if you need me to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep you
That's
from
great.
killing everybody.
You probably not.
Do that for me?
She's like, yeah, I will. I'm already sharpening the knife. Like, she seemed a little too excited about it. No, it was great. I really
You're
liked it.
so quick to turn Nia into a little sociopath. I don't appreciate that.
Too easy.
No, but I forgot. I had another moment that I have was for you. Like, I love that the act of good faith for Sloane was healing her friends, but then like the cherry on top of all of that was telling Sloane that Oric's soul is coming back, because that's really all she wanted. Yeah. And like she's wanted that for so long because she misses her buddy. So that was mwah, I loved that.
Yeah, round of applause for the DM for that one.
No.
Can I ask the chat to just put their favorite Kyle moments?
No.
Yeah.
please
Chat
do.
while we
Please
get
Tell
ready
our
for
DM how
Kyle
awesome
Day.
he is, please.
Because he doesn't want to take it himself, so we have to force it upon him.
Stop saying that you suck, because I don't want to hear that shit.
Also, can we just take a moment to
Mom
appreciate
voice came
everyone's
out.
shirts today in the battle broads
Yes.
and our
Yes.
party dad?
Yes,
Because we're all
yep.
wearing shirts that happen to be uniquely us. And it just worked out beautifully.
It did.
All right. And with that,
But also fight me.
I think we're still having a week off of. Oh my god, my brain's gone blank. Help.
Yes, which game?
When is it the
it
week
for
of the
the
15th
charity
of August?
No.
Oh, that's
it.
12th.
No, so we've got the weekend off for the charity event, which is good.
Which is the 19th and 20th.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, it's
That's
not.
the 12th.
No,
Oh,
it's
the
not.
12th
That's
and
my baby
13th.
shower. Yeah, the 12th
Um,
and 13th. Yeah, fuck.
and then-
time is a soup.
That's a really great expression. I like that a
I
lot.
s-
Yeah, it's
Or
I
good.
it's
stole it
saying
from
it.
Critical Role.
Oh, damn.
It's not mine. I know.
No. Shelby, help me out. Thursday nights.
Thursday nights are our World of Darkness game.
Yes, thank you.
Ran by Rogue Uzu, and I think we've all decided that's coming back next week. We had to not this week for cast reasons, but I think we're all coming back next week.
Okay, cool. And I also believe that the Sunday night game run by Yarrow D6 Black Archives is also on break for the week. So we'll see that back again soon. So right now, the only game running on the channel is this one, and they kind of come back when we take our break. Anyways, we're going to find someone to raid. So I'll slide over here. And if you have any favorite moments or things you want to say to the cast, go nuts, say it now. And we're going to find that raid.
Adventurers Pack is online right now, and so is Magi RPG.
Adventurers Pack. See him. Alright.
Like they're on.
We're going to start our
episode
raid.
5 of their campaign.
Has it started? Has the raid start? What is that? Is that the Twitch clip you were talking about? Someone was going to animate?
No, that's this. What did you just clip? The soup brain?
Yeah.
The one that I did. I wanted to say it. I took that from Ashley Johnston from Critical Role. It's not mine.
I think a lot of people
said it.
know
Burn
that.
said it.
All right.
You're muted, Sean.
Wait.
That one
You're talking about when I said War Daddy has work.
Yeah.
It'll be
go
clear.
through and clip it my damn self, okay?
All right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.